Question 7a. An astronomer observes sunspots using a telescope fitted with a hydrogen alpha filter. Describe the appearance of the sunspots. Sunspots appear as dark patches on the sun's surface, although the proper word to use, you should know, is photosphere. 7a part 2. Name one other feature that the astronomer might observe. So other observable features of the sun, the two that jump to mind are solar flares and prominences, but I'm going to go with the most obvious, which is solar flares. 7a part 3. Why does the hydrogen alpha filter improve the astronomer's observations of the sunspots? A hydrogen alpha filter improves the contrast of the colours or the brightnesses, and therefore the definition that can be observed. 7b. With the aid of a diagram, explain how astronomers use sunspots to determine the sun's rotation period. The diagram that I would draw for this is simply the surface of the sun as a rough circle with a sunspot on the surface of the sun, and I would draw a line to show that that sunspot is going to move across the surface of the sun, and then in the explanation I would put something along the lines of the time taken for a sunspot to move fully across the disk of the sun is equal to half the rotational period. And from that you've answered the question how astronomers use sunspots to determine the sun's rotation period. They measure the time it takes a sunspot to move across once and double that to give the rotational period. 7c. Sunspots are thought to be a possible origin of the solar wind, which can cause aurorae. Describe the appearance of aurorae. So the aurorae, or the northern and southern lights, are bright coloured bands in the sky. Okay, and that's a simple description of their appearance. You don't need to refer to the fact that they arrive around the north and south poles, because you're not asked to, you're simply asked to describe the appearance. 7c part 2, a 2-mark question. Explain the connection between aurorae and the solar wind. For this you need to make the point that the solar wind is made of charged particles. One mark, which interact with molecules high in the atmosphere. 2 marks. Question 8. A group of students were observing the Perseid meteor shower that occurs annually in August. This shower is caused by a short period comet. Where is the origin of most short period comets? The asteroid belt, the Kuiper belt, Orion's belt, or the Van Allen belt? The answer is C. Apologies. B. The Kuiper belt. Part B. Figure 3 shows the Earth's orbit around the Sun. On Figure 3, draw the orbit of a typical short period comet. And there are 2 out of the 3 marks available for this. The first mark is for the orbit being a very extreme elliptical shape. The second mark is for the fact that it isn't centered on the Sun. So it's off either to the left hand side, or as I've drawn it, to the right hand side. B part 2, for the final mark. On Figure 3, indicate a point at which this meteor shower could occur. Use the letter P. The letter P can be at either point where the comet's orbit crosses the Earth's orbit. Either of the 2 points where that happens, you can mark with the letter P for the mark. 8c. What is the name of the point from which meteors appear to diverge? A knowledge question. The answer is the radiant. R-A-D-I-A-N-T. The radiant. C part 2. In which constellation does the point for this meteor shower occur? So the radiant of the Perseid meteor shower is, as its name suggests, in the constellation Perseus. 8d. During their observations, the students also saw a fireball. What is the difference between a fireball and a meteor? A fireball is a very bright meteor. And it's defined as being something that is less than -3 in magnitude.